What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a brand new episode of the More Life Diaries podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be catching you guys up on our lives and our somewhat first impressions of Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. We've been here for just over 2 months now, so we just want to give you guys our perspective on living here, adjusting here, trying to fit in as best as we can. Let's get to it.
What is More Life Diaries? Reflections of the past. Life in the moment. Manifestations of the future. This is our journey. More Life Diaries podcast.
Welcome back, mi gente, familia.
Bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos to another episode of More Life Diaries podcast. And we are back on the night shift.
Mm-hmm.
The kids are sleeping. We're squeezing in an hour or so to get this podcast done.
Yeah, it's a little bit more quiet in the apartment in the evening, so we decided with the noise factor, the nights were better.
Yeah, our New Year's episode, as I mentioned, dogs started barking for most of the episode, so it is a little bit more quiet at night, thankfully. Hopefully the dogs don't start barking.
Or the fireworks.
Or the
nightly
fireworks don't start going. And we wanted to kind of catch you guys up on our lives as of today. We've actually caught up in the podcast and just to see how we're settling in here, life in Mexico, how our routine is going, what we've been up to, what we're going to be up to, and everything in between. So, and we've just kind of been settling in now. It has been a little bit easier as of the last couple of weeks because Bassie, our oldest, has started school.
Mm-hmm. So that's really helped us get our routine, some sort of semblance of a routine, because we have to get up, get him off to school, pick him up at a certain time, all of that. And it gives us a little bit of a break during the day because when he's at school, Callie naps. So it is giving us a little bit of normalcy. Plus he's tired when he gets home, which is nice.
Yeah, for sure. And that's kind of what we wanted to be able to start our own kind of daily routines. I think we're on vacation mode before he started school. And a lot of that was, we needed to keep him busy day to day. So we're going to the beach a lot, traveling a lot. And now we're just really trying to focus in on our craft, on our videos, editing, those things, looking for work as well.
He's in school 5 days a week, and then he has his Taekwondo 3 days a week. So that keeps us pretty routine. Like it establishes a routine for us. So it's been solid. And in the last couple of weeks, I've seen he was happy before, but now he seems to be really adjusting. He seems to be embracing the language. He's making more friends. So it's just, been a really positive change from the new year on.
He's really feeling like at home here now. We get that feeling from him. And he was a little bit more, standoffish in the beginning. But as his, routine really settled in, he became a lot more comfortable, which made us and confident. And that made us feel, good, obviously, but it also just gave us the courage to kind of, keep pushing forward.
Yeah, it's like inspiring to see how happy he is when he comes home from school and when he comes home from Taekwondo. So, it just makes us want to be able to keep going with that and stay here. Sure. So it's really
and it is really interesting too to see just how adaptable he is at such a young age. Like he's 5 years old and he goes into things with no fear. And often, as adults, as we get older, our level of insecurity increases rather than decreases for the most part. And he just doesn't have that. For him, it's like a certain level of discomfort at first, but it's not really insecurities. It's just discomfort because this is unknown. And then right away, he just snaps into it and everything becomes routine. It's like second nature. He doesn't overthink things.
He went back. Like the Taekwondo first day was a little bit rough. But when you think about it, he's 5. There's probably like 20 kids in that class. It's the biggest class he's ever been in. A lot of them are older, like 10 plus.
Yeah.
And this isn't a thing here where you all start day 1 together. He was just jumping into a class.
Yeah.
Doesn't understand the language, lots of big kids, doesn't know the routine, doesn't know what to expect. It's loud and scary. And like, I think probably most adults would have been like, this not for me, and like not returned, but he kept going back and he loves it now. And he's in it. Like he's fully invested in it. So, like it's inspiring sometimes when you see your kids do things like that.
No, for sure. And when you really reflect on it, it is inspiring because, as I mentioned, like we do carry this bag of insecurities on our back, and like he doesn't have that yet. And, you know, he's been through a lot, but he's still very adaptable and he's still very happy. And we can see that happiness in him. And that kind of, you know, reflects that we made the right decision because and I'm going to switch and talk about kind of our family dynamic. Like we're actually doing the things that we've been wanting to do for years here, right? You know, we're able to go to the gym. We're able to put him in classes. He goes to, you know, a school. We're able to go to parks and playgrounds
and just be outside all
the time, go to the beach, like everything that we loved about Toronto before and that was taken away from us for quite some time. We're able to reintroduce that here and really do the things we love. Like the one thing that we really had left in Toronto that we loved to do was spend our days at the beach. Well, now we're spending our days at the beach in Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that it tops it is that we can still do that here in January. We can be outside. Like we love being outside. We just like being active, and like that it kind of slows down in the winter because it's really hard to do that in a city like Toronto in the winter. So we're out here, we're doing it. So it's like we're doing what we loved in Toronto and more. And we've really been, I guess that's something we could say, like over the last couple of months, we've been finding the things that we love and like we loved in Toronto that we wanted to kind of adjust to have here, or things that we're lacking that we find them here. So I think both of those categories, we've been like just kind of finding them and exploring and
finding people that enjoy those things as well. Yeah. So, you know, meeting new families and new people and going to the parks with them or the beach and spending some time with them. It's really refreshing to see that people out here really do want to live their lives outside, and even just in terms of locals and culture. And we'll get to that a little bit more, but people just love being outside and they live outside. And the weather's been perfect since we got here. So it is really nice to just see, you know, and be in that culture that just loves being outside as much as we do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you a question. What's your favorite thing about Mexico since we've gotten here? And you can't say food. Yeah, food's the easy cop out. Okay, let's talk about food first. Okay, and then you can talk think about my thing. What are your thoughts on the food here?
Love the food here. Like, oops.
That's my excitement for food. I was gonna do.
Yeah, chef's kiss. Love the food here. Everything is so fresh. I think that's like I mean, obviously, okay, like I like the taste. It's really hard to describe how good everything is on a podcast, but it's just it's fresh. Everything is made fresh. Like you get a taco, the there's a person like doing the tortilla right there. It's just a bunch of fresh ingredients. It's actually very simple. And I think we have this misconception, or some people have a misconception of like tacos being junk food, or like, oh, you need to take a break from eating that because it's not healthy. I mean, really, it's a corn tortilla, freshly made with, I mean, we get al pastor, so it's just like meat, pork shaved off the spit.
Nice beach, yeah. And
if you want cilantro, cilantro, onion, and pineapple, and then whatever salsa you put on it. Like, there's not. I don't know how that could be like considered super
it's all
unhealthy.
like very simple. And the thing that I love the most about food here is that it's very connected to the person making the food. I feel like, in Toronto, or just in probably most places in Canada or United States, you're almost very disconnected from the food that you're cooking in some sort of way. Everything, not everything, but a lot of stuff comes prepackaged or pre-mixed, and you just have kind of a cook that makes it. And here it feels like, and this is the places that we go, like you're sitting, in an abuela's kitchen and she's cooking for you. She's, as Kathleen said, making the corn tortillas by hand, squishing them. They're shaving the meat off the pit. There's like, their kids are working at, cutting onions and doing stuff. So like the family is very attached to whatever that restaurant is serving. And typically it'll be a few dishes, but those few dishes and those recipes have most likely been in that family for a very long time. And even, the salsas and the hot sauces, everything is, for the most part, handmade. And you just feel that connection to the food. And it just makes you appreciate that process and that culture a little bit more.
The ingredients are local, like they're coming from around the area. If you're ordering seafood, like we live on the ocean, it's coming from the ocean. I mean, sometimes if you eat on the beach or near the beach, you can actually see them bringing it in.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it too, like what makes it taste good, what makes you appreciate it more. I mean, if you get something like that back home in Canada, you are paying for it, right? Like if you're getting
you're paying for an experience.
Yeah, like if you're getting somebody like who's gathered the mushrooms for you that day, like you can bet your butt that you're paying for
you're paying some top dollar. And here it's like it's considered the cheaper alternative when you're getting that food. And then you go to, a more tourist area in a tourist restaurant, but you're seeing again that disconnect from the food that I'm talking about. We've been to some of those. The food just isn't as good.
It doesn't hit.
The
flavor is just not there.
The flavor's not there. And food is definitely a big thing. When you're moving into a new country, we've moved somewhere before where we weren't as excited about the food. And even a year after, or like after, we still, weren't in love with the food. And that was, a big red flag for us in terms of returning to that country or even living there again. We want to obviously return there, but we wouldn't live there again just based on
the food,
on that one factor. So food is a big part of it. The food here is amazing, simple, but
flavorful and fresh. I think it's like the biggest thing.
Yeah. So food aside, what is your favorite thing about Mexico?
I think, and you touched on this a bit with the restaurant, it's like the family culture here is really beautiful. I mean, if you go, like we're talking about, like people always being outside, like if you go on the beach on a Sunday, like you're going to see like big groups, like I'm assuming they're family or like good friends, and they bring all the food with them to the beach and they set it up and they're just there all day having like picnics and hanging out. It's like really nice to see. Like we go out to like a sports field some evenings and like everyone's out, family, kids, everyone exercising, doing things together. Like the month of December is basically like a giant festival every night, parades and all that kind of stuff. And like, even though it would go into like 11 o'clock at night, again, you're out there with family, like everything is family. And I think we noticed that from like the minute we crossed in, like you go to a restaurant and there is a play place for the kids, like a huge, like even if it's kind of like makeshift, like a random trampoline, there's something there. And like
a full-size backyard trampoline in a restaurant on the side of the highway.
Why not? Right?
Why
like,
not put it outside? I don't know. It's too hot, maybe.
Well, because the point is that you can watch your kids and while you eat, and you can actually eat and enjoy yourself because like the kids are entertained. So you have a break. And like even like really, like I know people are probably listening like, oh, McDonald's has that, or they used to have it. But like, yeah, McDonald's has that here, and like fancy restaurants have that here. So you don't have to get a babysitter. Like,
and McDonald's doesn't even have that back home anymore.
Yeah,
like I don't know if it's like a liability thing, but a lot of those fast food places that we loved as kids for the play place, they don't have that, and they don't have the ball pits anymore because of germs and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, but McDonald's, bring that back.
Bring it back. But yeah,
it's
like
good for business.
The fancy places here are like they top it off with having a babysitter there to watch your kids. Like, so you don't even have to really watch them. You can just go like have like a couple's date, bring your kids there, leave them.
Yeah, there's a place nearby called Food Park. It's a bunch of shipping containers, and all of them are different restaurants, and they have a really cool play place there, and they have a lady watching the kids. You know, Callie just tried to make a run for it a couple of times, and she was like holding him and holding another kid. Like, she really works hard for her money, but we do appreciate her. Yeah,
it's common. Like, that's not a fancy place, but there are more like, you know, high-end dining things that have it, and I appreciate it. And yeah, it's just, you know, people smile when they see your kids. They do a little like head rub, like, you know, it's just like very warm here, I find, and I love it.
Yeah, the family dynamic is definitely great, but also the community aspect of that family dynamic, like it. And what I mean is it shines as like a community, right? Like right away when we got here, you know, people want to hold your kids and they rub their head and they talk to them and they engage with them, acknowledge them. Just, you know, as a kid, I'm sure that makes them feel wanted and seen.
You're part of it
too, right? And part of it and part of the experience. Like right away, Bassie and Callie kind of like clicked in, and they made friends just on that basis, because, you know, you enter a restaurant and people look at you and acknowledge you, and the kids look at you and want to play. So that's definitely, you know, top of my list as well. People just living outside, the parks being busy until 10 o'clock at night.
When we say living outside, we just mean spending a lot of time outside. Just to clear it up, that they're not like living.
Yeah, we're not all homeless living outside.
We're not like, we love this home.
What I mean is, you know, everyone is out early mornings and everyone is going back indoors to their homes late at night. Like the park here, if we go to the park, you'll be busy till 9, 10. And even just adults, like adults are out there, you know, being active, playing sports. It was really something that I expected when I came here, and that's a big reason why we came here. We said people are always outside because it's nice, but not to this degree, to see locals, you know, at the beach. And the beaches closest to us is Playa Camarones, and it's like more of a local type of vibe. And you just see them, you know, having a great weekend, buying shrimp on the beach, drinking beers, doing all the, like, you know, supporting the vendors, supporting the community. It's just a feel good type of vibe.
Just enjoying life, you know, like a lot of people here, I think, work long hours. They work hard. They work 6 days a week, and that Sunday hits and they're like, it's time. Like, we're just all going to get together and just enjoy it, like outside, connecting, no phones, like, that togetherness is here, and it's really nice to see. And I don't know, it kind of makes me like, I remember when I was little and they started to open businesses on Sunday. It kind of like makes you appreciate that that doesn't really happen here. Like there are things that are open on Sunday, but like a lot of stuff is closed, and
like services and those types of things.
Yeah, but even some of the local restaurants and stuff will be closed or have shorter hours, and like it's because you are supposed to be out with your family and like.
Yeah, it's nice it's nice to see like people do work hard. A lot of them self-employed. They do work really hard, and they really do make the most of their time off, and they make the most of their time with their family. They, you know, typical kind of back home vibes is you work in an office and then you come back home and you just fill your life with more distractions.
Work on the phone.
Yeah. Here it's like minimize the distractions and spend the time together as a family and doing the things we love to do.
It's a nice balance, basically. What we're
For
saying.
sure. Nice balance. Obviously, everyone would love to work less, but it is what it is, right? Like people need to earn a living, and you get a lot less support here from the government. So yeah, that's definitely an amazing thing. And I was just to like, that's top of my list, but just so we have something different, I would just say the culture as a whole. And we talked obviously a lot about the culture here and the family dynamic and the food. But another factor is just how helpful people are. And, you know, I've been running around since Monday with car issues.
We've needed a lot of help.
We've needed a lot of help. And the way things work here is like every shop, every mechanic shop is specialized in one thing. So you can't bring your car somewhere and get the works done, the tires changed, oil, get this, the engine fixed, everything. Every shop has one specialty. So kind of been running around all week trying to, you know, figure out this one specific issue with the car. And it's been a little bit of a headache. But the thing that I do appreciate, and even when we had car issues in the past, is just how helpful everyone is. Anyone on the street will stop and offer you help. No matter what it is. If your car is broken down on the side of the highway, you have your hood popped open, someone will stop and help you probably immediately, or someone will walk by and ask if you need help. And we've really felt that since like right away when we got here. And no matter what the circumstances, there are, you know, language barriers, but, you know, we figure it out always. And it's just really nice to see how helpful the community is here, how people are helpful, how people don't bullshit. Like if someone's not in a good mood, if a server at a restaurant's not in a good mood, they don't know it. They don't bullshit. They don't put up a fake front to try to get a big tip. They're just acting like how they feel.
Yeah, it's not like
and it's
aggressive
not rude.
To you or rude and necessarily. It's just like, oh, you're having a bad day. Okay, and like that's it. There's no fakeness here. There's no do you want anything else? Are you guys done? Like all the 1,000 questions and check-ins that people work so hard for their tips back home. That's actually annoying. Yeah. There isn't any of that here. So there's really no bullshit. People just, you know, are the way they are. They act the way they feel. And, you know, you don't have to read between the lines here. Everything is just really straightforward. Yeah. And anything else? What else do you like about Mexico? The weather.
The birria. The birria tacos.
Like we could just have a whole podcast on every delicious
food
item that's here. But here's one, like, okay, so the food in Mexico, we've said it a million times, it's delicious. Like, we'll never get tired of it. But what do you miss from back home? Is there something?
No. Sorry, Toronto. Love you guys. Love the listeners. Honestly, leave a review. From back home, obviously I miss, you know, friends and family.
No, food. I'm talking about food.
Oh, food. Well, I miss friends and family. The food that I miss is maybe just the opportunity to eat whatever we're craving when we're craving it. So I know like we love Jamaican food.
Oh yeah.
Like some nice,
chicken.
jerk chicken, oxtail, curry goat. Those would be really good. Jamaican food, Middle Eastern food.
What we miss most of Canada, Jamaican food.
Jamaican food.
Everyone else's food.
Baklava, which was Greek baklava. Big on our list.
I miss like Canadian baking. Like we've found places here to replace that, so we're good. But yeah, like
we have some sweet teeth.
We do, and I just love, like now we found the croissant place. We found a good place that has like, actually I'm pretty sure she is Canadian, an older lady that just freshly bakes like a bunch of cookies and other things in that style that we have. It's just a bit different here with their sweets.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what that is. Like
they're drier and they're like really sweet.
And when we lived in Chile, it was like that too. Like everything was a little bit like dry.
It's a lot of it dry.
Very dry. And just that good old Canadian baking.
Soft, moist
cookie.
Yeah,
like soft,
warm.
Yeah. I don't know.
Chewy cookies.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Yeah, like
definitely
the
Canadian baking. The unlimited options that you can get for foods back home. But here I have to say, we've eaten tacos more times than we can count, and we're not sick of them yet. And it's been, over 2 months, closing in on 2.5 months, and I could still eat them every day, and I crave them every day.
And now we're talking about this, I feel like you need to go to that stand.
I might go, right now. There's a stand right outside. I might go pick up
just get a couple
4 or 5.
Snack.
Yeah. Besides that, do you miss anything else from back home?
Friends and family, of course.
Loser.
Are you just the same thing? But no, like I know right now it's cold.
Yeah, honestly, Toronto's just gray right now.
I heard that there's no sun.
The mood is
gray. I heard that the eggs
gray.
cost $10. Yeah. And so, we haven't been affected by those prices yet. So.
Yeah, we're not in any hurry to move back during this time.
Yeah, I think it would just be like to visit friends and family. I don't even know if I'd be super excited to get any specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have our little favorite spots near our home, but like,
yeah.
So
for now, just in our lives, it's just settling down and really trying to create content and push content. We're approaching this time where in our vlogs, we're kind of catching up to where we are now. And we're really excited to be able to just sit down and create content and share it with you guys, like not live, but more recent, not months away. So that's very exciting for us, and continuing to build, this brand that we've created,
and brand and this dream.
Yeah, and like have fun with it.
Yeah,
have a lot of fun with it. Anything else in regards to Mexico besides it being awesome?
No, I just I started the gym.
Yeah,
got back into that. Felt really good to be back in the gym. First time in like
years.
Well, there was a time where it did open up, like I think in mid 2020, but it's been a while. Yeah, like 3 years ish. Felt really good. Felt super motivating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Kathleen's, she's joined the gym. I go to
the Flintstones
gym. So everything is like man-made, handmade.
It's literally like there's a metal bar and then these like old plastic jugs.
You don't know how much anything weighs, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to start going here, trying to be motivated, be consistent, and then I'll make my way to joining a gym and actually spending money on it. I really like
that the free weights are actually chained to the benches.
Yeah, they're chained down.
So free.
And if you're using a barbell, it has a chain on one side, so you have to like adjust your hands to get the balance on both sides. Yeah, just like small calculations, but yeah, it is cool that you just get that option to just go work out for free outside and have fun with it.
And the people there, like when I went, are like ripped.
Yeah,
like,
some
it
shredded.
looks like that they were not wearing shoes by choice.
Yeah,
it's a gravel floor, and they're dedicated for sure.
You can get
ripped,
get some nice workouts there. Then you walk over to the beach, get some grounding in, take off your shoes, put your toes in the sand. So really just have everything to, start a day right.
Eat a taco.
Eat a taco. Eat a croissant.
That's one thing I learned here. We're talking about stuff like that we didn't know in Mexico. I didn't realize that tacos were also a breakfast food. They're basically breakfast and late night. It's hard to find a real local taco in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
It's morning, and I'm talking like lineups.
Yeah. And we were, searching for birria for a little bit, like tacos de birria, which is like a slow cooked pork. And they put it with cheese, and then they toast the tortilla, and you get like a consomme with it. So a little like soup, you dip your thing. And so it's become like really popular in Canada and the United States as well in the last couple of years. But we're like searching for it at night. And then in the morning, I went for a run one day, and I came back and I'm like, yeah, I think it's breakfast food because it's everywhere in the morning. So
that's it. And then at night, it's the al pastor. I mean, at earliest, the local spots will open around 3.
Yeah.
There's some ones that cater to tourists that open a bit earlier. But
or all day, yeah.
Yeah. The more local area ones are after work, like pushing towards after work. So I didn't know that. I thought it was a lunch dinner.
Yeah.
No. It's breakfast, late night.
Yeah. So it's hard to time, when you're going to eat with when you're going to be hungry, because what you're craving or what you want to eat might not necessarily be open at that time. You might have to fast for a little bit.
Yeah. Or like break the fast early because you want that birria.
You want that birria, break the fast at 8 a.m.
So good.
Yeah. So moving on to another topic, we're going to talk about
we're going to do a little current event.
Current events with more live diaries.
We're going to work on a song. Not that one.
So current events. Hit me with some current events, because I've been non-current with my events.
Okay, well, I guess it's not super current. It's like a week old, but it is, has to do with Mexico. So I'm sure as you guys know, El Chapo's son was arrested here in Mexico. This is the second time I think he was arrested. He escaped once before.
Okay. And we know that he's been arrested because we got 100 messages from people back home thinking we were kidnapped.
Or that we were in danger. Yeah. And I feel like some people were hoping that we regretted our choice because of like the violence that was going on here. We had no idea because nothing was different where we are. Mexico is actually a very big country. That was 2 states away, about a 10-hour drive, and a different cartel. So we were completely unaffected here.
And we don't follow the news that closely here either. So we kind of, heard about it through people watching the news back home. But again, it's just a testament to how not a thing it was here. And, not to minimize the impact on some families that were impacted by it in that region. Obviously, it's a terrible thing, cartel.
The point is that it was, the media blows it out of proportion. Even from what I was hearing.
The Western media more specifically, as, they do always about Mexico. It's kind of a reoccurring thing, a reoccurring propaganda machine. If you look at, Netflix or any movies about, Mexico, it's typically cartel and danger and
for whatever reason, like a very yellow tint.
A very yellow tint, some yellow aviators, old school Ray-Bans, and a lot of smoking of cigarettes as well.
It's not so much like that here. Even from what I was reading about, like there's all these different networks of expats who talk, and they're like, it was, one afternoon that they were told to kind of, lay low. And that was it. Again, not taking away from, obviously it happened and people were hurt, people died.
And every day people are hurt and people die from, the cartel. And it is a terrible thing. But the way the Western media.
What do you call it, the Western media? I feel like we're in the same, we're like directly south.
Yeah.
Whatever. Canadian media, US media.
North American, excluding Mexico.
The northern North American.
Obviously, they blow stuff out of proportion. In my opinion, it's a way to make Mexico look a lot worse than it is when you talk about, human trafficking, drug trafficking. They talk poorly on Mexico, yet they're the number one customers of those things. So the irony in that, but we weren't affected at all. People were messaging us, thinking that it was a war zone, and we were tanning our bodies on the beach.
Eating shrimp on the beach.
Yeah, so it's just very unfortunate the way that, the media portrays a country like Mexico, such a big country, such a diverse country, such a beautiful country and a beautiful culture. And if it was, portrayed in a better light, then maybe, this activity would be lesser. There'd be maybe less activity and more money flowing through the country. But hey, we're here, we're happy, and we're very happy with the decision we made to move here.
We are safe.
And we're safe.
Yes.
Yeah. What else? What else is in the
what
news?
Else is in
the propaganda machine?
Well, Twitter. We're on Twitter now. We're
on Twitter at More Life Diaries on Twitter. Hit that follow.
So I guess the last thing I heard was that they're gonna let El Donaldo Trump back on.
Yeah.
The Donald Trump. He's coming
Big
back.
Papa.
I hear. Don't know if he's allowed back.
Yeah.
Will he come back? I think I've heard the rumor that he is planning to come back.
So
not sure what everyone thinks about it. I'm not saying anything if I like him or not. He's just entertaining.
Yeah. I want to start by saying, who cares? Who cares if he comes back? Who cares if he doesn't?
Who cares if he says some random stuff on there?
He is very entertaining. And the purpose of, an app like Twitter and a platform like Twitter is to, free speech. That's what it should be. And
free speech and entertainment and distraction. You don't go on there to be bored.
Yeah.
And you're looking for interesting things.
If he says anything that hurts your feeling or that you don't agree with, that's your problem. And that's if anyone says anything that hurts your feelings, again, that is your problem. You need to deal with that privately. So the fact that he might come back, it's been rumored for a little bit. I don't know, what his obligations are with Truth Social, which we're not on. But I just want to see him come back just so that the uproar that it's going to
I think he's going to come back because Truth, I don't really know who is on Truth Social. What? Yeah. Some people must be, but everyone's on Twitter and he seems like somebody who would want to get to the masses and want, all of the, eyes on him and enjoys it. There's a reason why he tweeted all those crazy things he tweeted. He likes the reaction. He likes the audience, and that's where the audience is. So I feel like any politician, anyone in politics has at least a touch of narcissism. Yeah. And so I don't think he's any different. He's going to want that. He's going to come back on and give the people what they're asking for.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, to what you said, if you don't like it, don't follow him. Mute. Sometimes there's an option
just
of
delete
mute.
your account if you don't want to be on Twitter.
You don't even have to go that far. Just don't
be on Twitter.
Follow who you don't like. Mute or block or whatever if there's people with things that you like. But also, it makes me wonder, this whole thing about, did they say something that offended you? Or did they say an opinion that was different than yours? And why is that automatically offensive? Why is a disagreement, a difference in opinion, automatically something that's so triggering that
in general, yeah. Even from a friend that disagrees with you, that has a different opinion, it's like, what is so triggering about that? We don't have to see eye to eye on everything. Like, we don't see eye to eye on everything, but we still love each other and we still support each other and we're still here together. It's like everyone is so offended and so afraid of different in opinions. And realistically, it doesn't matter. It's just words. People say, thousands of words per day.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you triggered as an adult about what someone else says? And that person, especially if that person is a politician or is, a superstar, like, who cares?
Well,
You're so disconnected from those people.
Are they officially, in terms of offending someone, if someone's directly speaking to you and says something mean, I can understand you getting offended and like whatever, defriending them. But if someone's just expressing an opinion on it, online, and you don't agree with it or you don't like it, is that grounds to divorce them from your life or or just, get so upset that like, I can't believe this person would say that or think this way, like that they thought a different way than you. And then automatically you need to shut them up and move them out of the way. It's a really interesting, I don't know if I want to call it a phenomenon. It's a really interesting thing that like, I feel like had the light shone on it.
It's
in
like
the past few years.
Immaturity, insecurities, people that are still just very triggered and insecure. And it's just weird to me. Like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around it because, I'm not offended by many things, if anything, like, unless you're attacking, me as a father.
That's what I'm saying. If it's my kids, like a personal
thing,
but you don't need to take a general statement personally. And why are you assuming that it's about you, which is another thing.
Big Papa Trump, come back to Twitter. Why not? Let's offend some of these people. What else is in the news? Shakira. I've been hearing all these like talks. I don't fully understand Spanish, but it's all over the Spanish radio. Shakira has a new song coming out.
So Shakira's hips don't lie, but apparently her man Piqué did. So Shakira and Piqué have been together. I actually don't know if they're married or if they're just like living the married lifestyle. They have kids. They've been together for a long time. They broke up. And he seemingly moved on very quickly with this new young girl. So I think Shakira's in her 40s, maybe 50. And he's a bit younger than her. And then he found an even younger girl who's like 20. Anyways, super in love with her, not afraid to show it. PDA everywhere, brings her out. Like, no shame, not that he should feel shame, but he's just like, whatever. He's like bringing her out. Then something came up online that he had posted a while ago when they were still together. And this girl was in the background. So basically, like, now we all know that he was actually with her. He didn't just move on quickly. He would
scheming.
Yes, he was like cheating on her. And so that's out. And she wrote a song. And that's what everyone's talking about. And
hips don't lie.
Haven't listened to it, but that's like,
is it even out? I feel like it's just like being hyped up, but
I've only heard people talking of this song. Maybe we've heard it and we just never realized it, but she has a pretty distinct voice.
Yeah, they talk about it to no end, but they don't play the song. We should listen to it. It's like, release the rights, man. We need to hear this song.
I think we just changed the channel on the radio.
Yeah.
Too long, but
I don't know.
I don't know. We haven't heard the song.
But good for Shakira for like taking this and running with it and like making a comeback years later because they like love it here. They really love it.
No, but I want to just say that like, I don't know the whole story, but like, let her write her song. I mean, Taylor Swift makes albums of these breakup songs. Usher was the one that cheated on like Chili or whatever her name is. And then he wrote an album that was huge. It was like the biggest album of the year. He made like 10 hits off that. It was a great album. Confessions. Yeah. He's just singing about all the shitty things he did. So anyways, do your thing, Shakira. Sing your songs.
Sing your songs. Shake your hips. Go do Super Bowl stuff.
Super Bowl. Oh yeah. she did World Cup too.
What else? There was another one.
There was another one. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Must have not been that important.
I guess not.
Yeah, so...
Elon? No.
Elon Musk? No. Twitter?
Kanye? Kanye's married, maybe.
Kanye's married. He's appearing at fast food chains. We're getting thick again. We want thick Kanye. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, if you guys, have any other current events that we don't,
Mark will weigh in on them
because I'm not.
He's all for Donald Trump coming back to Twitter, and now you know.
You guys have to comment down below. What you want us to touch on next week, and then we'll do a little segment skis on it.
Yeah. So do you want Donald Trump back on Twitter? Does it offend you?
Yeah. Are you offended by this podcast?
What do you think? Like, what's going on with Shakira? Like, shine some light on that.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
Cartels.
Yeah. So we have an exciting week ahead. Our friends Sheldon and Hannah are coming to visit us. So we have a very busy next week, but we're going to change up the podcast dynamic a little bit. So me and Sheldon are going to have a sit down and do a podcast.
We're going to talk pure shit.
And then Kathleen and Hannah are going to sit down and have a podcast together as well. So for the next couple weeks, the podcast will be a little bit different. We're going to switch up the dynamic. And hopefully you guys like that. And we're going to have a little busy week, going to do some surfing, some sightseeing, beach hopping. So we're going to be sharing all of that on the vlog at some point in the next month or so. But stay tuned for that. It's going to be really fun. We're really excited for it. It's our first friends visiting. My parents are here at the moment, visiting as well. Mm-hmm. But we're very excited for that. So on that note, folks, please, if you do like the podcast, if you want to support us, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, follow the channel, hit that 5-star, and leave a review for us. It helps us keep pushing forward, and it helps the algorithm tell people that la gente loves us. So do the duties, do all that for us. We greatly appreciate it. And if you've made it this far, we greatly appreciate you. And until next week, this is our journey, More Life Diaries podcast. Peace.
Adios.